Welcome, friends. Today, I'm sitting in a new chair. What? Today, we will be doing another fragrance rotation video. Amazing. For the week ending the 27th of November, 2022. Jesus, it'll be December this time next week. Whose idea was that? Christ. Anyhow, I am looking forward to giving you this week's rotation, as it has some previous, well, there's at least one fragrance I haven't worn before. And there's another fragrance which I haven't worn in a very long time. There's a classic. But almost all of these have got an ambery vanillic feel to them. And I found that quite interesting because I have been trying to wear more stuff like that. This is one of the great things about having a big collection. If you feel like wearing a certain genre of perfume, then you can just switch to it and start wearing them, while still retaining the possibilities of doing that with lots of different kinds of perfumes. You know, I've got chypres, I've got ambers, I've got fougères, I've got all sorts, most of the perfumes, of the different kinds of perfumes. I beg your pardon, sorry, I'm coughing. But this week I have gone down an amber trail, and I think I'm going to keep that up for a while because I've been looking forward. I did sort of make a mental note to myself, like earlier in the year. I realised I've got all these ambers. Why don't I wear them? And so we will start with an amber. And that amber is this. Oud Desert by Andy Tower. Is that on straight? It is not. Sorry. This is fabulous. This is what I believe he called a sequel to Oud Desert Marocain. And that's what it smells like. It does smell a bit like Oud Desert Marocain, but more ambery, less dry, more vanilla, you know? It's got a lot more. What have you got a lot more of? It's got a lot more. Let's just compare them. It's got that dry spice at the top, you know? It's not cardamom. What the hell is it? Coriander. It's got that kind of coriander vibe at the top. It's got the dry air feel of the desert. That's the same in the Oud Desert Marocain. But it's got a much... I mean, it's obscene to say about Oud Desert Marocain, but this is a lot richer, a lot warmer, a lot silkier. You know? Oud Desert Marocain feels drier, dustier, you know, like this feels like the desert at twilight, whereas Oud Desert Marocain feels like the desert at dawn, you know. It's less bright, it's darker. I mean, there's not a lot in it. They are both definitely worth owning. Two of the best ambers you'll ever smell, you know, but it's a fabulous perfume. I mean, Oud Desert Marocain's an absolute triumph of indie niche perfumery. Brilliant. I still don't think it's been topped in the indie sort of thing, the indie circles, by anybody who's taught themselves how to be a perfumer. It truly is fantastic. But yes, that was what I wore on Monday. On Tuesday, I went for something, do I want to say completely different? I went for, can you see that? Leather Oud. Leather Oud. There you go. This is one of, if not my favourite, Dior Prive. I don't think you can actually see the fill level. Hold on, I'll just raise you up a little bit so you can see where I've used it to. There. I've used a lot. I'm talking like 40 mil, 30 mil. That's a 450 mil bottle. That's a big unit, you know. It's fucking massive. And that's a big dent in a big bottle. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. This is the original formula. I think this is a 2014 bottle. One of my favourites. It is a lovely buttery leather. It's got this beeswax note in it that comes out about 4 or 5 hours in. And then that's, I wouldn't say that's all you can smell, because it's not. You still get birch, you still get civet, you still get a bit of the sandalwood, a bit of labdanum, you know, but the beeswax really does shine in the dry down, a little pissy sort of beeswax leather kind of thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. It had its balls removed. It was reformulated very poorly in 2017. And they gave it a wet sand note. And as soon as I heard that and I smelled the reformulation, I was like, oh God, no, there it is. And it really is. And it was, this is foul in a nice way. That was foul in a bad way. That smelled like bad fish decay, right? Like, it wasn't great. This smells fresher, sweeter. The beeswax in this is what saves it from being a fucking piss nightmare, you know? A brilliant fragrance. I'll try and review this at some point. Fantastic perfume. I love it. I love wearing it when it's cold. I wanted to wear it again on Wednesday, but I didn't. And instead, I went for something completely different. And this is one of the, I think this is the only one that I couldn't say had an ambery note in it. And this is Calvin by Calvin Klein. Absolutely immense. I actually got a compliment on this. And it's easy to see why, from a lady no less. And it's so 80s in its muskiness. It's like a patchouli musk, slightly herbal, aromatic, little bit spicy, just a little bit though. Just a tiny bit of edge. Sandalwood. I think there's a, is it tea? No. It's chamomile. It's chamomile. It's like this chamomile soft, very enveloping, fresh, warm. Oh, very 80s though. Very 80s. It's a little bit woody as well. Oh, it's got a hell of a scratch on the front. I didn't know you were there. Very difficult to find. If you find it and you like 80s fragrances, I would buy it. Because it's almost impossible to find. I was very lucky to find it thanks to a Nouge. And I own it. And I'm not sure that you couldn't wear this in the spring as well, actually. Because it's got enough lift, you know. It's got enough lift. Very complex fragrance, very well made, beautiful. I've reviewed that actually. I remember Ramsey telling us to do it because nobody had touched it on YouTube, and I thought that's a good idea. That's what I'll do, and so I did. Next, Something completely different, but again, another classic. A classic from the community. And this is Eau de Beau by Loccitane. This still smells absolutely amazing. Smelled the reformulation, the new packaging in Loccitane recently. It might have been a month or two ago. Maybe it's a little bit longer now. But it comes in a 75ml bottle. This is the 100ml. They repackaged it into 75mls so that they didn't have to put the price up. So you can still pick this up at the same price it always was, but now you get 25% less juice, which is one way of doing it, you know. But the reformulation of this is really good. It's not the same, but it's really good. There are good reformulations and there are bad reformulations. I don't like reformulations. But this was reformulated well, so you can go out and buy with confidence. Vanilla amber. That's essentially what it is. It's nothing. There's nothing I could add to this that hasn't already been said. It's like a spicy vanilla amber. You know, it's warm, it's soft, there's a little bit of incense in it, tonka bean. Absolutely gorgeous. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Very thirsty. And this is a beautiful fragrance. It's fresh too. You could wear this on a cool summer's evening. You know? It's a creamy vanilla. It's like when vanillas are like, I've got this certain, when a certain aspect of vanilla's used, it comes across like vanilla ice cream, which always reminds you of like a cooling effect. And that's what this does. It has a cooling effect, but it's also warm as well. Very ambery. Fresh might be the way I should have described that rather than a cool warmth. It's got a freshness to it. Anyway, moving on. If you are someone who watches a lot of my videos, you will know that I got a haul this week, a little haul. I did an unboxing. And in that haul was this, and I wore it the day after I bought it. I received it, and this is L'Eau d'Ambre Extrême from Loccitane. This was made in 2001 by Jean-Claude Eleanor. Amber, vanilla, something a little bit spicy. I'm not familiar with the notes yet. Feels like there's a dose of labdanum in there, but it works. It's not just a towering labdanum. It's blended very well. Jean-Claude Eleanor's used labdanum well because he's known for his light touch, and that's how I prefer my labdanum. Not that I like labdanum, but I prefer it if it's used very lightly. It's in a lot of perfumes I own. I just don't like it when it's like the size of like Le Lion. You know? Too much. Just too much. Don't like it. Too stodgy. Too rubbery. But in this, it's blended beautifully. The vanilla takes those rubbery, like, dry kind of, like, you know, when you get like a dry throat and you choke a little bit on it. That's what Le Lion does to me. Labdanum, when it's big, does that to me. This is dosed beautifully. Absolutely loved wearing it. Fantastic. Instant love for me. Been quite a while since I had a perfume that I loved as much as this upon first smelling it. You know? That I wanted to wear so much that I wore it the next day. Those perfumes get fewer and further between as life goes on. And this was one of them. So thank you again, Natalia, for making it possible for me to own this. Next, speaking of perfumes that I love and love to wear, I decided to wear this yesterday. Saturday, Balenciaga Pour Homme. What else can I say? Patchouli honey. Something a little bit animalic honey. Slightly, I don't want to say fleshy, but slightly stank about it, you know, slightly pissy. Cinnamon, huge cinnamon. Something like dark fruit as well, you know. Excuse the ghosts at the window, they're not getting in. Just ignore them, they'll go away. I love the presentation as well. I love that greeny blue contrasted with the gold. There's these gold little like wisps here in like the green. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it shows up very well, but I love it. I really do. Nothing like the Balenciaga of today with whatever the fuck they're playing at with their fashion and their use of various disgusting sales pitches, tactics, advertising, whatever you want to call it. This is lovely, and I will not let them bastardize this. I will not let this be bastardized by whatever it is that Balenciaga think they're fucking playing at now. Anyway, last but not least is scent of the day, and this is another. Sorry, that just went right in my mouth. Hydration's actually made it worse. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's rough. Well, it doesn't taste very nice, I can tell you that. Oh. This is Ood Monarch. Oh, God. Blah. Anyway. This is the first time I've worn this. These have been sitting here for months now. I've tried them quite a few times, as you can see. But I've never worn them in anger, and I was determined I was going to do that today. I was doing a video yesterday about the Parfum d'Empire sample set that I've got, and I looked up and glanced at them, and I thought, tomorrow is the day. I am wearing these, one of them. I've got this and Oud Maximus, and I decided to wear this one today because it's got that cocoa chocolatey sort of thing. This is a little bit ambery, you know? I don't know whether that's on purpose. I don't know whether that's by accident. But it gives off this ambery kind of thing. It could be the cinnamon, vanilla, labdanum kind of combination. But it's got that warmth. It gives warmth. That's what I've been looking for this week as the temperatures have started to plummet. I was always a cold weather duck, you know? I was always into me cold weather. But not now. I'm getting old, you know? Mature duck. So, this has been my fragrance rotation for the week ending the 27th of November 2022. I hope you've enjoyed this little mini trek through some of my most loved perfumes. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you all again soon. Bye.